Well, good day, all. Ira Epstein with your SPDR ETF wrap-up, and I'm very late tonight. I've been up over 40 hours, basically. When you own a brokerage division, you're up when these things happen as you're looking at risk, how to help clients, and it goes through the night because futures trade 24 hours a day. So a long day for me. And then I had oral surgery at 3 o'clock today. So I'm having a miserable day in many ways, from the stress, okay? I had a lot of clients that did fine. Let's talk for a moment, though, about what's going on. Yesterday, go look at the video that is here. I told you to get your shopping list out. I specifically was saying, hey, you got things like maybe it's Apple, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. I've mentioned not to buy those, but I'm giving you the idea, some staples in there and other areas. Well, if you take a look at what the markets did today, I think you'll see that, by the way, I used the word nibble. I was very careful. I think if you nibble, you got your foot in the door at the beginning. I do not think one day makes a bottom by any stretch of the imagination. I have no idea what the Fed is going to do. Now, I don't think 50 basis point hikes anymore because I think that I don't think this uncertainty is going to go away by the time we have the FOMC meeting. It might, and they might think that the door's all clear, and then they might go a 50 basis point hike because the one thing I think you can be assured of, the next set of inflation numbers are going to be higher. Look at the price of oil, look at the weighting, grains, and go on and on. Metal markets, labor, everything up. So it's going to be there. But I think the Fed will also realize some of this is definitively transitory as we don't know what yet Europe is going to sanction Russia with. Now, it can get wild tomorrow. We saw President Biden come up, and very presidential today, I must say. I've been a critic of his. But presidential in all the things the United States is coming to the table with. The SWIFT system is off the table. Crude oil and gas, that's up to the Europeans. They're the ones that are going to be annihilated. He's bringing the he's bringing our strategic reserves, they're so similar in name, on the table again. But he's really missing the boat on one thing. And please, Joe, wake up. Change the U.S. energy policy. Get in tune with the times. Green, I understand. Find a better compromise. I think that you would find that works. Get our big boys plugging away again. Make America energy sufficient and independent, not dependent on, hey, Mr. Saudi Arabia, Prince Solomon, do you think you can give us another 300,000 barrels a day? Oh, by the way, I know you're not hitting those goals, but it'll sound good to everybody. You can't say that to Russia now. You got a new problem with that. So you got to go to Kuwait. You got to go to other countries. Why are we going to anybody? That's Ira Epstein's opinion. Self-sufficient. We were there under Trump. We can get there again instantly. Change the policy. Okay. So today was a day that if you use Bollinger Bands, whoa, what a phenomenal day. So let's review the market and understand, by the way, a question was asked of me because I watched TV most of the day today, and I watched CNN more than financial TV. You might ask why. Because it isn't finance. I already know what's going on there. I don't need to hear it 50 times from 50 different people, the same thing. I want to know why this is even going on, and I think CNN gave me the answer. Egomania. 69-year-old president, whatever you want to call him, of a country where their size of their vast range, they don't do as much business as the state of Texas yet. That's hard to believe. He's looking over and he's saying, in my 22 plus years, what is my legacy in Russia? And right now, what is his legacy? You can't say very many good things. Therefore, and I'm talking on a world stage, I'm not saying what his own people might think of him. I'm talking we as Westerners looking at Russia. And I think he realized that. And I think he's saying, I like the old Soviet Empire. He's talked about it numerous times over history. Go back and study the man. And I think it got to him. I heard this on CNN, and he's decided he's going to make his moves. Now, he will go down in the end as Hitler. He will go down as Napoleon. He will go down as Putin. Why? You can only bite on so much when you only have so much in the way of a resource. And the world's going to hate him for what he's doing right now. I don't know what his own people will do, but the people of Ukraine used to love Russia. Do they still? Are they not saying to themselves, how can this be? Because at the end, while they're Ukrainians, their motherland has been Russia. You know it, I know it, they know it. That's not a surprise. This, to see Russian troops killing them, taking over the city, people having to live in subway systems today, if you're watching what's going on, can't be good, and it's going to get worse. This is the blitzkrieg. It's coming in. The tanks haven't arrived everywhere. They will. The Air Force has already knocked out whatever air defenses are there. The president's on the run on TV saying that he and his family are a target for death, that they are on the want list of it. It can't be a good thing, right? And while we heard what the U.S. did today in sanctions, we've yet to hear from the Europeans, and this is their land. This is their continent. This is where it's all happening. How bold are they going to get becomes the question. The SWIFT system, as I said, was not done by the president, even though he wants us to think what he did is just as powerful. It isn't. The energy becomes the next big thing. As for exports, wheat, corn, nothing's going out of Ukraine or Russia right now. The seas are going to be jammed. They're closing the ports down. It's war. So it's a rough time, and you see that related in the futures markets. As we come here on XME, you're right up at the Bollinger Band. This is where the battle is. This is where the pros are taking money off the table. I don't think they're buying up here. Sorry for the delays today. I forgot to do something on the chart. I'm tired. You can see how the market is backing off right here. That was, by the way, this chart was the weekly. This are the daily. And the daily, now you're losing the uptrend. You got a higher high, lower low. Could the market sink back into support at 47.05? Why not? It's hit its upside target on the week already. And you still have an embedded reading or not? Have you taken my course? Do you have a reading under 79? Then you know the answer. You lost it. Apple. Just yesterday we were looking together, and I'm going, at that point in time, if I can get it to go back, I don't know if it will. Let's just see. Come on. Yes. I said, I'd be looking pretty hard. Now, today's Thursday, right? This is Wednesday. I said, I don't know. I think I'd get out my shopping list. I think this 200-day average is a pretty interesting number, the first challenge of it, if it gets there. You're already under the Bollinger Band, the 100-day average. Nor did I think it was getting like that. Boom, and right away from it. Come on. Not a bad little play there. And again, that's where the nibbling happens. In XLF, I think the pros are covered shorts. I think they did it yesterday, and today the market's saying it doesn't really want to stay under that by very much. Disney couldn't even get down to the Bollinger Band. It's not a sign of weakness, even with jet fuel going through the roof. You know it's going to go through the roof. Airlines are in trouble. They were down, 5-6% early in the morning today. You saw a lot of trouble going on in that jets also, if you were watching at the Spider or the ETF. Lower highs, lower lows. By the way, what is the difference between a Spider and an ETF? Would you write me on that? The marketplace, back over the Bollinger Band, but it's riding it. So let me explain what that is. It's called the gorilla glue trade. It's when a market gets down and it doesn't want to break away. And when it latches on, it can stay latched on for quite a period of time, and you just keep taking the market down. Also notice this market has every single day a lower low and not a higher high. Very bearish still. As we come over to XSD, I feel so good about this one. Yesterday we were talking, I can't get that to us for whatever reason. I know what it is. It's my fault. There you go. I said, watch it, probably go into that number. Just yesterday we were talking. You tell me it didn't turn from there. Bollinger Band course. Home builders. They're down. They might try to embed or not. Nah, they're not trying. They're saying, okay, I got the gorilla glue trade going. I'm making a lower and low every day and not a higher high. We'll have to see where it wants to play itself out. XLE, what do you think the pros did when you went to the lower Bollinger Band today? GLD, what do you think the pros did again against the upper Bollinger Band? You'd gotten away from it for 2 days, you went to it, they sold it. They got out of longs. I don't think they went short. That's not what I teach. Now you got to be careful here. When you reopen, you might lose that embedded reading like that. If you do and it stays lost, you're probably targeting a return into wherever the 18-day average in red is. GDX. What do you think I said this morning to all my subscribers at 9 in the morning? I'm saying them, it's where the pros are coming out, folks. Don't be a sucker. Don't buy the gold and all that because of the news. You're going to get yourself in trouble. Tell me that didn't happen on that. And that's what I do. I've got the tapes. That's what I was telling people. Copper, what have I been telling you? I thought it would go down to the 18-day average and try to figure out what to do next, and that's right where you're at in this market. TLT. Now let's talk about the Fed's dilemma. The Fed has a real dilemma. The market had been talking 50 basis point. We're going to get to 9 interest rate hikes, some of the banks are saying. And now we get this new wild card. This new wild card sent inflation to the moon. We're going to get a report. This is February. We'll get what the month's inflation looks like. Can it be good? It can't be. Grains up through the roof. Oil up through the roof. Just about any commodity and a metal up through the roof, okay? So we know inflation, that number trying to break back down and getting under 7%, I guess on a statistical way that they count if it could happen, but I don't think real world it's happening. Therefore, does the Fed say, I understand what's going on and why this event happened? We'll stay with a quarter-point hike and we'll judge the market as it goes, or do they go with their big guns and go for the half point as people were calling? I think the half point is off the table. At the end of the day, we don't need our Fed to come out guns blazing when we don't know the situation we're in Europe yet. Let's get a better handle on that. That's what I think they'll say at the meeting. UUP, the dollar. This is where you're supposed to come out on the first challenge of the upper Bollinger Band. It opened strong as can be. The opening was 26.04. So not bad. Traders made, I think, a nice little play there. And I think they covered their short in the euro currency the same way. Why would they hang in there? So as I put this all together, one of the things that dawns on me is the importance of my early morning videos for my subscribers, my paid subscribers. It's not expensive. Come on, you spend more on your Starbucks coffee than this costs in the course of a month. You get 48 videos, each 18 to 20 minutes long. First thing in the morning, buy here, sell there. Here's why. Here's the fundamentals of the day. Here's what's coming out in the markets. Here's what I think is going to drive it. All the experience of that. Now, you can turn on your financial TV because a lot of you want it for free. You're not going to get XME. You're not going to get all the ones. You're going to sit there all day. Oh, when will they bring that chart up for me? I'm covering them all for you. Same in the futures markets. The dual package is the way to go. Your ETFs, many of them are made up of what the futures are doing. So I cover the futures, 40 of them. And there's a scroll bar on the bottom here. You can pull it. You'll get to currencies or whatever area you want or the interest rates. You can pull right to your area that you want. And of course, you know, I'm covering the stock market as well. We talk about what's going on in Apple. I mentioned the staples for you, other things of that nature. That's the whole key to it. So all you need to do to take advantage, and this is the time to do it with this market volatility, is go to our website under IraEpstein.com. Research is there. The education course on Bollinger Bands is under education. I've changed on the futures and moved to the macro mini stock indices. The margins are now in the thousands, not tens of thousands, very low. Volatility not as big. They follow tick for tick the big ones. That's what we're going to be covering. That's what my clients want me to do, and that's where we're at. I'm Ira Epstein. I am going to bed. I'm going to get a good night's sleep for a change, and I'll see you all in the morning.